So, a few weeks ago, I have actually bought myself a brand new Aprilia Tuareg Rally. Is it as shit as these little shit boxes behind it? Or is it as good as a burger at the McDonald's? No, I'm kidding. Just gonna see. I'm just gonna give you my first impressions, just see what the bike is all about, and how I've been liking it or not so far. Yeah, so first things first, the look. I mean, it looks amazing, doesn't it? Really does look good. I really like it. Except for the front. I'm still not really used to the big fairing up front. I don't know. It's still not really my thing, so might put a smaller windscreen on it. But for the rest, I really do like it. It looks aggressive. I've done 340 kilometers so far, which I think is enough to give you a first impression of it. What do I like about it? What don't I like about it? And how does it stack up to anything I've ridden before? So, the Aprilia. Well, it's a bit of a hyped up adventure bike, right? Or at least that's what the Aprilia guys sell it as. It is the Tuareg Rally is the bike that is supposed to take on the all famously known Tenere Rally. And a little disclaimer, before this bike I actually had a Tenere, Yamaha Tenere World Raid for about 2.5 years. I've done about almost 30,000 kilometers on it, and I liked it a lot. Used it for a lot of off-roading, but also on the road it was a really nice bike to ride. And in general, first impressions, the Aprilia is the same. It's very nice on the road, but it can also really pack a punch off-road. Well, I haven't really tested off-road because I am still riding in the bike. I got about, well, as you can see, 650 kilometers to go for its first service, and when it has had its first service, then it is unleashed. The beast is unleashed. It really is a beast, but I'll come back to that in a minute. The Tenere World Raid, it's a heavy bike. It's with the mods and everything I put on it, I would say it would be around 230 kilograms. This, however, is standard 199 kilograms. I put a few things on it, so let's say it's like 205 max, absolute max, and that is pushing it. Just say for the fun of it, it's like 25 kilograms less than the World Raid, which really is a lot, and you feel that. You really do feel that. It feels more like an enduro bike than an adventure bike for me. The World Raid had a lot of its weight up front because of the double tankage system, and the Aprilia, it only loses just a few liters, like 5 liters I believe, on fuel capacity. Don't pin me down on any of the numbers, by the way. I'm not a journalist or a fact seeker or whatsoever. They're rough, right? They're rough numbers, and normally I don't really care about the numbers. I always go about feeling. Speaking about feeling, how does this Aprilia feel on the road? Like I already said, it feels really light to me, really nimble, and it's a bike that knows what it's doing on the road. You know, it feels like you can really send it down hard through some twisties or some mountain roads. It feels really good. But the Tenere had the same, so that's not really gonna make the difference. I also really like the Tenere in the Alps, for example. So, back to the feeling. How does the bike feel? You have 4 riding modes on the Aprilia. And normally those modes, I always see them as a selling point rather than something you actually use. But I will be very honest with you, and I actually really feel the difference on this bike. It's insane. It's really insane. Also, I think because it has electronically controlled throttle, so they can really play around with that, and they have, and it just feels amazing. It really feels good. I like it a lot. Like right now I'm in urban, the easiest mode of everything is to the max and chill, and you can't pop a wheelie with this if you want. You just can't. Electronics won't let you. Put it off-road, the bike is a completely different beast, and it does literally everything you want it to do. It's insane how much of a difference it makes. It's a completely new bike, and I really love that. Another feeling I have with the Aprilia that I didn't have with the Tenere is the aggressiveness of the bike. Right now in urban it's really smooth, it picks up the throttle really smooth and easier controlled and really smooth, like with a nice upward trajectory. When you put it in off-road or any other engine mapping, it's so much more aggressive. With the Tenere I actually had to change the gearing on the bike to make it more aggressive and to be able to do power wheelies. On this bike though, I just have to change the mapping. So in general, is there anything that's actually better on the Tenere then, right? Because every point I've named so far, weight, power, riding modes and electronics, it looks to be all better on the Aprilia. What's better on the Tenere then? Is there anything? There is. And that's something that I think for a lot of people is actually very important. And that is the build quality. I've put some mods on the bike now, like the crash bars, and I've put like what else? A few protective area, a few protective caps on the engine block and on the rear brake reservoir. You actually start to get more intimate with the bike when you do those mods, and it really feels like the bike is not just built the way that the Tenere is, right? The Tenere, everything is really nice together. You know, there are not big panel gaps, there is not weird plastic hanging over stuff. And on this bike, I just have a feeling like they created something, and there are some panel gaps here and there, and they're like, it's just fine, it's good like that. And then at Yamaha, I think personally, like, they took a little bit more time, and they were like, it has to fit perfectly, right? It has to be logical. You don't want to have a pedal gap in this place, so we need to create a solid part of it. You know what I mean? Like for example, if I worked on the front because I put a little protector over the headlights. So you work at the front, and there is actually a pretty big pedal gap on the front of the bike. And through that hole, you can actually see all of the wiring going to the screen. I was like, ooh, and not even like wiring with like a protective wire around it, but the genuine yellow, red, blue wires, you know? I found that a bit scary, you know, because it's gonna get wet, obviously, it's gonna get muddy, there's gonna be a lot of dirt in there, a lot of dust. How is that going to hold up in, let's say, 2 years? I don't know, we'll see. On the Tenere, you would not find places like that. Everything was covered, or would have like a little bit of rubber around it, or that just felt better, right? And reliability, I can't say that right now, right? I mean, I've done 350 kilometers. If it would have broken down right now, I would have felt mugged, but it hasn't. Luckily. But let's see how it does when it has done 2 years with me. When I've got the bike for 2 years, let's see what it does then. Because, you know, I had the Tenere for 2.5 years and done pretty much 30,000 kilometers on it, and it were not easy kilometers. But I was able to sell the bike with a lot of trust that it was fine, you know, because it is fine and it will start every single time. The Aprilia still has to prove itself with reliability. I like the weight, it's a lot less. It feels nimble, agile. I like the power, it's very powerful. It's a lot more aggressive than I'm used to with the Tenere. I'm really gonna have to get used to that, but I really like that. Reliability, I don't know, we'll have to see. Build quality, it's less. Let's just be honest, it's less than the Tenere. We all know it, but it's true. And the looks, I bloody love it. Maybe the front windscreen not so much, gonna have to change that probably. Maybe gonna put like a rally tower on it, I mean why not, I'm gonna see. If you wanna know something specific about the bike, just let me know in the comments, I'll respond to your question. Oh yeah, I love that quick shifter, dude, I really like it. There's a bit of a storm coming, so I'm just gonna go home and nice and warm because I don't feel my fingers anymore actually. See you guys later.